The Martian wind blew across the red plains, carrying dust and silence. The sun was pale and shadows stretched long over the empty landscape. In the distance, a broken spaceship lay half buried in the dirt. Twisted metal, broken glass, and signs of fire. It had crashed days ago, but no rescue ever came. Jake Rowan, a strong-built human with a rough beard and quiet eyes, stood near the wreckage with a scanner in his hand. He was not a soldier or a hero, just an engineer who lived alone near the old mining fields. He had come for spare parts, not adventure. Jake climbed into the remains of the ship, stepping over wires and burnt panels. The ship looked like it had been attacked. Most of the damage was from weapons, not from the crash itself. He shook his head. Whoever did this wanted someone dead. As he moved deeper inside, his scanner began to beep. Life signs. Jake paused. No way, he whispered. Nobody could have survived this. He followed the signal, crawling through a narrow hallway until he reached what looked like a cargo room. The door was jammed, but he forced it open. Inside, hidden behind fallen crates, were two small figures. They were curled up together, trembling. Their skin was a soft purple color, with glowing blue lines running across their arms and necks. Their eyes were wide and fearful. They looked like children. Jake didn't move. He raised both hands slowly and knelt down. Hey there. It's okay. I'm not gonna hurt you. The two alien children stared at him. One was slightly older, a boy. He moved in front of the younger one, a girl, trying to protect her. They didn't speak, but their eyes begged for help. Jake noticed their clothes were torn and dirty. One of them had a bleeding cut on the leg. They hadn't eaten in days, maybe more. His heart tightened. You're just kids. He reached into his bag and pulled out a water bottle and a protein bar. He placed them on the floor and backed away. Here, eat. The boy looked at the food, then at Jake. Slowly, with shaking hands, he picked it up and shared it with his sister. They devoured it like they hadn't eaten in a week. Jake waited, watching them. He had seen many things in his years on Mars. Bandits, smugglers, crashed ships, strange tech. But nothing like this. Two alien kids alone in the dirt. It felt wrong to walk away. He sighed. Guess I'm taking you home. He wrapped them in his coat, gently lifted them into his rover, and drove back to his outpost. Jake's outpost was small, a metal dome with solar panels and a wind turbine. Inside it was warm and quiet. He laid the twins on a soft couch and let them rest. He scanned them with his med kit. Nothing too serious. Just exhaustion, minor injuries, and hunger. As they slept, Jake sat nearby, sipping coffee and thinking. Who were they? Why didn't anyone come for them? And why did they look so scared, like they had seen something no child should ever see? In the morning, the girl woke up first. She looked around, confused. Then her eyes landed on Jake. She didn't run. She didn't cry. She just stared. Jake smiled softly. You're safe now. She blinked, then touched the edge of his shirt with her tiny fingers. The boy woke next. He jumped up, ready to fight, but stopped when he saw his sister calm. Jake pointed to himself. Jake. Then he pointed to them. You? They didn't answer. Maybe they didn't know English. Maybe they were still scared. Jake nodded, understanding. That's okay. We'll figure it out. He gave them new clothes, soft shirts and pants. They were too big, but the kids didn't complain. He made them breakfast, simple eggs and toast, and the girl smiled for the first time. Jake grinned. You like eggs, huh? Later he gave them names. Rin, he said to the boy, pointing at him. And you're Zara, he said to the girl. They didn't protest, so the names stayed. As the sun set again over the Martian land, Jake watched the kids play with old tools in his garage. Rin was curious about wires and machines. Zara kept glancing at the stars through the window. Jake leaned back in his chair and whispered, What have I gotten myself into? He didn't know their story. He didn't know their past. But he knew one thing: they were his responsibility now, and he wasn't going to let anyone take them away. The days passed slowly in Jake Rowan's outpost. The red dust settled outside the small dome, but inside, life was beginning to grow. Rin and Zara, the alien twins, were starting to learn the strange new world around them. Jake watched them closely, knowing they were far from home and from anything they had ever known. At first, the twins were scared of everything: the soft hum of the air filter, the blinking lights on Jake's machines. Even the taste of Earth food made them nervous. They often huddled together, speaking in a quiet language Jake could not understand. Jake tried to teach them words. "Water," he said, holding a glass. "Eat," he said, offering a spoon. He used gestures and patience. Slowly, they repeated the sounds, their alien tongues clumsy but eager. Zara was the first to smile. It was a small thing, but it made Jake's heart warm. She began to explore the small room, touching objects carefully, always curious but cautious. Rin, on the other hand, was more serious. He watched Jake's tools, fascinated by the clicking and turning parts. Jake handed him a simple screwdriver. The boy's fingers trembled as he held it. "Try," Jake encouraged gently. Rin imitated Jake's movements, slowly learning how to turn screws. It was a small victory, but Jake felt proud. These kids were not just survivors. They were learners, fighters in their own way. One afternoon, as the twins sat near the window looking at the red sky, Zara suddenly stood and pointed upward. She spoke softly in her language. Jake caught a few words. Star, home, lost. He nodded, trying to comfort her. "We'll find answers," he said. "Together." But Jake knew the truth was more complicated. The twins were far from home, and their past was a mystery he could not yet solve. That night, strange noises came from outside. Jake was alert. He checked the security cameras and saw a small probe hovering near the dome. He frowned. Not good. Jake quickly turned on the external lights, shining them on the probe. It blinked once and flew away. But Jake knew this was no ordinary visitor. "Who's watching us?" he wondered. The twins did not sleep well that night. Zara clung to Jake's coat, and Rin kept looking toward the door. Jake sat beside them, feeling a strange sense of danger. He knew someone was coming for the twins. The next morning, Jake tried to prepare them. "If anyone comes, stay inside. Hide." He looked at their small faces and felt a deep need to protect them. Rin and Zara listened, though they didn't fully understand. Their trust in Jake was growing, but fear still shadowed their eyes. Jake spent the day fixing the dome's defenses, strengthening doors, setting traps, and programming alarms. He was no soldier, but he had learned to survive in harsh places. When night fell again, Jake kept watch outside, his rifle ready. Hours passed in silence. Then, without warning, loud engines roared in the sky. Several sleek ships appeared, shining cold lights on the red dust. Jake's heart pounded. The ships landed nearby, and armored figures stepped out. They wore suits that gleamed with strange symbols. Jake recognized their weapons, advanced and dangerous. The twins woke, sensing the danger. Zara reached for Jake's hand, her glowing blue eyes wide with fear. Jake stood tall, stepping in front of them. "You want to take them? You'll have to go through me." The soldiers moved forward, but Jake's trap slowed them. Smoke bombs and electric wires stopped their advance. Rin surprised Jake by standing beside him, holding a small tool that emitted a bright pulse. The pulse disrupted the soldiers' helmets, making them stumble. Jake looked at the boy in awe. "Where did you learn that?" Rin just nodded, focused and brave. The fight was short but fierce. The soldiers retreated, calling for backup. Jake knew this was only the beginning. After the attack, Jake sat with the twins inside the dome. "We can't stay here," he said quietly. "They will come again. Zara looked at Jake with a mix of hope and sadness. Rin clenched his fists but said nothing. Jake made a decision. We have to find a safe place. Somewhere no one can find you. He packed a small bag with supplies and maps. He told the twins about Haven, a hidden sanctuary on Earth for aliens in need. It was far away, but it was their best chance. As they prepared to leave, Jake looked at the stars one last time. I don't know your story, he said to the twins. But I promise, I will help you find your way. Rin smiled faintly, and Zara whispered, Thank you. They climbed into Jake's rover, leaving the red dust behind and heading toward an uncertain future. The journey from Mars to Earth was long and tense. Jake drove the rover through dusty red canyons until they reached the hidden jump gate, a shimmering portal that connected distant worlds. He studied the controls carefully. This was his first time using such advanced technology. Rin and Zara sat quietly beside him, watching the glowing gate hum with power. The twins had grown stronger since the crash, but their faces still showed the weight of fear. Jake looked at them and gave a small smile. Almost there. Just a little more. He pushed the activation button, and in a flash of light, the rover disappeared from Mars, reappearing near Earth's orbit. The twins gasped, seeing Earth's blue oceans and green forests from space for the first time. Jake guided the rover down to a secret landing zone, deep in a forest, where the air smelled fresh and the trees whispered in the wind. This is Haven, Jake said softly. A safe place. Haven was more than a hidden refuge. It was a sanctuary for many alien species who had fled wars, persecution, or danger in their own galaxies. They lived peacefully here, protected by Earth's government, but mostly left alone. As they stepped out of the rover, a tall figure approached, a silver-skinned alien with calm eyes and a gentle smile. Welcome, Jake Rowan, she said. And you must be Rin and Zara. The twins looked surprised. Jake asked, How do you know our names? The alien bowed slightly. We have been watching. The twins carry the marks of the ancient Zarnathi bloodline, the royal family that ruled a distant star system. Rin and Zara exchanged a shocked glance. They had heard whispers of their past, but nothing clear. Jake frowned. Royal blood? What does that mean? The alien explained. The Zarnathi Empire was overthrown in a violent coup many years ago. Most of your family was lost. You two are the last heirs. The ones hunting you want to keep the Empire under their control. Zara's hands trembled. We don't want to fight. We just want peace. Rin stepped forward bravely. We want to know who we are. Jake placed a hand on Rin's shoulder. We'll find out together. That night, Jake stayed awake, watching over the twins as they slept. He thought about the bounty hunters who had attacked them on Mars. If the Zarnathi Empire was so important, why had no one come to help the children? His mind went back to the strange probe from before, the scout sent to find the twins. They were not safe yet. Suddenly a message appeared on Jake's comm device, a warning from Haven's council. Enemy ships detected near Earth's outer orbit. Prepare for battle. Jake's heart raced. He woke the twins gently. They're coming. Rin and Zara stood side by side, their glowing markings shining brighter than before. Something was awakening in them, an energy Jake could not explain. Outside, the sky darkened as the enemy ships entered Earth's space. They were sleek, black vessels, fast and silent. Earth's defense forces scrambled their ships to meet the threat. Jake joined the Council's war room through a secure link. This is bigger than we thought, a commander said. They want the twins and they won't stop until they have them. Jake clenched his fists. Then we fight. For Rin and Zara. For their future. The battle began in orbit. Earth's ships formed a shield around the twins' safe zone. Laser, beams and missiles streaked across the blackness of space. The enemy fired relentlessly. Inside Haven, Jake helped prepare Def. Anses, coordinating with aliens and humans alike. He realized his skills from Mars, His knowledge of traps and mechanics were useful in this new fight. Rin and Zara, despite their young age, showed unexpected strength. Rin's hands glowed as he focused, and he sent out waves of energy that disrupted the enemy's shields. Zara moved swiftly, her mind connected to the sanctuary's security system, helping to block attacks. Jake watched, amazed and proud. "You're stronger than you think." But the enemy kept pressing. They sent ground troops in stealth ships, trying to infiltrate Haven and capture the twins. Jake led a small team to meet the invaders on the forest's edge. Using traps, quick thinking, and teamwork, they pushed back the attackers. In the heat of the battle, Jake noticed something strange, a symbol on the enemy soldier's armor. It matched a tattoo he had seen on the twins. He whispered, "This is not just a fight for survival. It's a war for a throne." After the attack was repelled, the sanctuary held a council meeting. The elders looked at Rin and Zara with respect and hope. "You carry the legacy of a great empire," the silver-skinned elder said. "But that legacy is also a great burden. You must be ready." Rin nodded, determination in his eyes. "We will learn. We will be ready." Zara smiled softly. "We will not run anymore." Jake felt a surge of hope. These kids, once lost and scared, were becoming leaders, but deep down, he worried about the future. The enemy would not give up. They would return stronger. For now, the twins had a place to learn, to grow, and to prepare, and Jake promised to stay by their side, no matter what. The early morning sun filtered softly through the tall trees surrounding Haven. The air smelled of pine and fresh earth. Birds sang in distant branches, but beneath the peaceful sounds, tension lingered. Jake Rowan helped the twins pack their small bags. They were to leave the main sanctuary and travel deeper into the forest to a secret training center where they could learn more about their past and prepare for the challenges ahead. Rin and Zara moved carefully, their eyes wide with both fear and hope. They had grown since arriving at Haven. Their bodies were stronger and their strange glowing markings were clearer, but many questions still filled their minds. Jake smiled gently. "This place is safe. You'll learn a lot here." Zara nodded, clutching a small pendant she always wore. "I want to understand my dreams," she said quietly. Jake glanced at her. "Dreams?" She looked out toward the sky. "At night I see a great hall. There is a throne and many faces. I feel important, but also lost." Rin frowned. "I have dreams too. Fighting, running, I don't know why." Jake placed a reassuring hand on each of their shoulders. "We'll find the answers." The journey to the training center was not easy. The path wound through thick forests, over rocky hills, and past streams that sparkled under the sunlight. Jake guided the twins carefully, avoiding sensors and patrols. Along the way they met others, aliens from many worlds who had found refuge at Haven. Some greeted the twins with quiet respect. Others whispered in hushed voices about the lost Zarnathi royal family. One evening, as they rested by a campfire, an elder alien approached. He had deep green skin and eyes that seemed to shine like stars. "You carry the blood of the Zarnathi," he said in a low voice. "It flows strong. In you. The Empire is watching. They fear you." Rin looked at him seriously. "Why do they fear us?" The elder's voice was calm but firm. "Because you represent hope. The chance for a better future." Zara's eyes brightened. "Then we must be ready." Jake nodded. "And I'll be with you every step." At last, they reached the training center, a large dome hidden among ancient trees. Inside, advanced technology hummed quietly. Holographic images floated in the air showing maps, history, and star systems. A tall woman in a uniform greeted them. "I am Commander Celine," she said. "We have been expecting you." Celine explained the purpose of the center: to help the twins learn control over their powers, understand their heritage, and prepare to lead. Rin and Zara listened intently, feeling both excitement and pressure. The training began with physical exercises. Zara showed great speed and agility while Rin focused on learning to channel his energy safely. Jake watched proudly as the twins pushed themselves. He knew they were more than just children now. They were future leaders. During breaks, Jake and Celine spoke privately. "The enemy will not stop," Celine warned. "They have spies everywhere." Jake frowned. "How long do we have?" "Not long," she said. "We must be ready before they return." Jake's thoughts turned to the attack on Mars, the battles in space, and the weight on the twins' young shoulders. He clenched his fists. "We won't let them take the twins. Not
while I'm alive."
One night, Zara came to Jake's room. "I had another dream," she said softly. "The throne is empty, but it's waiting." Jake smiled gently. "Maybe one day you will sit there." She looked at him, hope shining in her eyes. "I want to be ready." Rin joined them, his expression serious. "We have a long road, but we will not walk it alone." Jake felt a deep pride. These kids, once lost and afraid, were finding their strength. Together they would face the future. Whatever it held outside the dome, stars glittered bright. The galaxy was watching, waiting to see if the lost heirs of Zarnathi would rise again, and Earth was ready to stand with them. The training center was quiet as the twins continued to learn and grow stronger. Days were filled with lessons about their history, their powers, and the galaxy they had almost forgotten. Jake watched them closely, proud but cautious. One afternoon, an elder from the Zarnathi survivors arrived at the center. She was a tall woman with silver hair and kind eyes that carried wisdom from many years. Her name was Elder Kayla. Kayla looked at Rin and Zara with deep respect. "You are the last of the royal bloodline," she said gently. "The empire you belong to was taken by force. Your family was betrayed." Rin's hands clenched tightly. "Why did they leave us behind?" Elder Kayla sighed. "You were hidden away to protect you. Many believe you are lost forever. But the truth is your survival is a threat to the new rulers." Zara's eyes filled with tears. "We don't want war. We only want peace." Kayla nodded slowly. "Peace is possible, but it must come from strength. You must decide if you will reclaim your birthright or live in hiding." Jake stood silently beside the twins. He knew this was a moment that would change everything. That evening, the twins sat by the training dome's large window looking out at the stars. The weight of their future pressed on them. "I don't know if I'm ready," Zara said softly. "What if I fail?" Rin shook his head. "We can't run anymore. We have to be brave." Jake joined them. "You've already shown more courage than most, but being a leader means making hard choices." Zara looked at him. "What do you think we should do?" Jake smiled warmly. "I think you should choose what feels right for you." The twins shared a glance, silently agreeing. The next day, the sanctuary held a ceremony. Survivors of the Zarnathi Empire gathered to honor their lost leaders. Rin and Zara stood before them, dressed in simple robes but with the glow of royalty in their eyes. Elder Kayla addressed the crowd. "These twins carry the future of Zarnathi. It is their choice to take the throne or seek a new path." Rin stepped forward. "We want to learn. We want to grow strong enough to bring peace." Zara added, "We want to be ready before we lead." The crowd cheered softly, full of hope. Jake watched, feeling the pride and fear mix inside him. The twins were no longer just children. They were the symbol of a lost empire's future. Days turned into weeks. The twins trained harder than ever. They practiced controlling their energy, learning ancient customs and studying the stars. Jake helped where he could, building devices to assist their training. He felt a bond growing between them, not just as protector and wards, but as family. One evening, while Jake fixed a machine, Zara approached him. "Jake," she said quietly, "thank you for never giving up on us." Jake smiled. "Your family. I'll always be here." Rin joined them, holding a small device he had made. We want to be ready for whatever comes. Jake nodded. And we will be. But peace was fragile. A warning came from the sanctuary's sensors. Enemy ships were approaching Earth's outer borders again. This time, the attack would be bigger. Jake gathered the defenders. We need to protect Haven, and the twins. The twins prepared too. They stood side by side, stronger and more confident. Jake looked at them and said, "No matter what happens, we fight together." Zara smiled bravely. "We won't let them win." Rin added, "For our home." As the enemy fleet moved closer, Earth's forces rallied. The battle for the twins, and for the hope of the Zarnathi people, was about to begin. Jake, Rin, and Zara stood ready, knowing their journey had only just begun. The warning alarms echoed through Haven's halls as the enemy fleet neared Earth's orbit once more. The sanctuary buzzed with activity, soldiers preparing defenses, engineers repairing equipment, and citizens readying for what might come. Jake Rowan stood with Rin and Zara on a high platform overlooking the forest canopy. The twins had grown since their arrival, their confidence clear in the steady glow of their markings. But Jake could see the tension in their eyes. "They're coming," Jake said quietly. "This fight will decide everything." Rin clenched, his fists. "We won't let them take us." Zara nodded. "Earth is our home now. We protect it." Far above, Earth's defense fleet formed a protective ring around the planet. Sleek ships hummed with power, ready to face the incoming threat. The enemy vessels were fast and well-armed, but Earth had allies, human and alien, who stood united. The first wave hit with a roar of energy and light. Lasers sliced through space and explosions lit the darkness. Earth's fleet responded, with precision, pushing back the attackers with coordinated strength. Back on the ground, Jake and the twins prepared for the worst. The enemy planned to land troops in Haven, hoping to capture the twins directly. Jake checked his gear. "We need to be ready to fight." Rin held a glowing weapon crafted from Zarnathi technology. "I've trained for this." Zara's eyes shimmered as she focused her energy. "We protect our home." The enemy troops arrived silently under the cover of night, slipping through the trees like shadows. But Jake's traps and the sanctuary's alert systems detected them quickly. Jake and a team of defenders met the invaders head-on. Using clever tactics and teamwork, they slowed the enemy's advance. Rin used his powers to disable enemy weapons, sending pulses that short-circuited their gear. Zara moved swiftly through the trees, guiding the defenders and helping to heal the wounded with her energy. Jake fought alongside them, relying on his experience and quick thinking to stay one step ahead. Despite their efforts, the enemy pressed forward, determined to capture the twins. As the battle raged, Jake noticed something unusual. The enemy soldiers wore armor with a familiar symbol, the same tattoo the twins bore. It was a mark of the ruling faction that had overthrown the Zarnathi Empire. "This is not just a fight for survival," Jake whispered to Rin and Zara. "It's a war for a throne." Rin's eyes burned with determination. "Then we fight for our birthright," Zara nodded. "And for peace." Together, the twins unleashed their full strength. Their energy combined created a powerful shield around Haven, pushing the enemy back. The invaders, realizing they could not win this battle, retreated to their ships. The victory was hard-won but clear. In the quiet that followed, Jake, Rin, and Zara stood among their friends and allies, catching their breath. Jake smiled. "We showed them Earth is not weak." Rin grinned. "We showed them we are strong." Zara looked at the stars. "This is only the beginning." News of the battle spread quickly across Earth and beyond. People were inspired by the story of the poor alien twins who had become heroes, fighting alongside humans to protect their new home. Earth's leaders reached out to Haven, offering support and protection. The twins became symbols of hope and unity, a bridge between worlds. Jake looked at Rin and Zara, pride shining in his eyes. "You've changed more than just this planet. You've changed the galaxy's view of Earth." Rin smiled shyly. "We couldn't have done it without you." Zara nodded. You are our family. As peace returned for now, Jake knew that challenges still lay ahead. The twins had a future full of promise but also responsibility. He vowed to stay by their side, protecting and guiding them as they prepared to claim their place among the stars. Together, they were no longer just survivors. They were the heirs of two worlds. The stars shone brightly above Haven as Jake, Rin, and Zara stood on a quiet hill overlooking the sanctuary. The air was cool and calm after the storm of battle. The twins' glowing markings pulsed gently, a sign of their growing power and confidence. Jake smiled, feeling the weight of everything they had been through. We made it this far, but your journey is just beginning. Rin looked out at the horizon. We have the chance to change everything. Not just for Zarnathi, but for Earth too. Zara nodded, her eyes full of hope. We are not just alien children anymore. We are leaders. The galaxy had taken notice. News of the twins' survival and bravery spread like wildfire. The Zarnathi rebellion, thought lost, began to gather strength. Across star systems, those who had suffered under the new rulers found hope in the twins' story. Back at Haven, a council meeting was called. Leaders from many worlds gathered to discuss the future. Elder Kayla spoke first. The twins carry the blood of kings and queens. They have the spirit of Earth's protectors as well. It is time for them to decide their path. Rin stepped forward, his voice steady. We ask for time, to learn, to grow, and to lead wisely. Zara added, we want to build a future where all can live in peace. The council nodded in agreement. The twins' request was accepted. Jake watched the ceremony with pride. He remembered when he found them scared and alone in the Martian wasteland. Now they stood tall as symbols of hope and unity. After the meeting, Jake took the twins aside. You have changed more than just your own lives. You've changed the galaxy's future. Rin smiled. We couldn't have done it without you. Zara hugged Jake gently. You are our family. Jake's heart swelled. And I always will. Briga's life at Haven settled into a new rhythm. The twins trained daily, learning diplomacy, history, and leadership. Jake continued to support them, building devices and teaching them about Earth. The twins also spent time with the people of Haven. They listened to stories, shared laughter, and built friendships. Their alien origins were no longer a barrier, but a bridge. One evening, as the sun set in brilliant colors, Zara stood beside Jake. Do you think we are ready? Jake looked at her, eyes kind and steady. You've already shown you are stronger than anyone thought. Rin joined them, his expression serious. We still have much to learn, but we face the future together. The twins knew challenges would come. The enemies who had tried to destroy them would not forget. But with Earth's support and their own strength, they were prepared. The galaxy was changing. Old powers were shifting and a new era was dawning. And, at the heart of it all were two alien children, once lost and poor, now heirs of two worlds. Jake looked up at the stars and smiled. The story isn't over yet, but this chapter is ours. Rin and Zara stood beside him, ready for whatever came next. Together they would protect their home and their people. Together they were the future.